Hey guys, welcome to episode 2 of my processing tutorials series, and today we're going to be talking about the window, what you can put on the window, what's a function, and what are some basic functions. So in the last episode we went over what processing actually is, and it said that processing is especially good for visual designers and people that want to display art in general. So the processing has integrated a window that automatically shows up when you run the program. Running the program basically means that the computer goes through your program and does the things that you tell it to do. The window is essential to processing, and without the window you wouldn't be able to display anything. This is the window, by the way. When I press this, yeah, it comes up. Sorry, that was a bit slower than usual. So the window is just this tiny little square, without actually putting anything on it in our code. But we can manipulate using pieces of code called functions. And functions are essential in processing in any coding language, in coding in general. And they dictate what your program does or how it functions when it's run. So what are some basic functions? Well, the first one that comes to mind is line. So line draws a line on this window, right? But in these parentheses, you have to specify certain characteristics of that line, or else it wouldn't know where to draw the line, how long it was, etc. So in the line function, it says in processing, if you go to the reference and we go to the line function, the line function takes in 4 parameters, and that's the x position and y position of the first point of the line, and the x position and y position of the second point of the line. So we'll do that right now. But first we have to use a function called size. You'll use size in pretty much every program you do which involves displaying something on the window. The size function specifies the size of the window that you're going to use. So if I say size 600 by 600, the dimensions of the window are going to be 600 wide and 600 high. So if I run this, actually I can't because the line function is incomplete, but if I run this, it'll display a much bigger window. See, we now have a window that's 600 pixels wide and 600 pixels tall, and we can manipulate that as much as we want. But now let's use the line function and let's draw a line on the screen. So the line function, let me say the first point is going to be at 0, 0. I'll explain what these numbers mean. You don't really know much about the coordinate system yet. But I'm going to have the endpoint at 100, 100. So it's just drawn a line from 0, 0, which is up in this corner, to 100, 100. So through this line, I can explain to you how the coordinate system works in processing. How it works is that on the x-axis, which is the left to right axis, I guess you could say, it goes from 0 on the far left to 600 on the far right. And on the y-axis, which is up and down, it goes from 0 on the top to 600 down. So if I said I wanted a line going from 0, 0 to 200, 500, let's say, we've got a line starting at the top corner, and the end point is going to be 200 out in this direction and 500 out in this direction. So now let's go to the function background. Background specifies the color of the background for your program, and it uses something called the RGB scale, which we'll learn about in a later episode, I think. But I'll just specify 255, which turns out to be white. So now we have a white background, and we have a black line. So in every function, we have the function name, and then inside the parentheses, we have things called parameters. And the parameters give information to the functions that they can use to do what they have to do. So for example, in line, we're giving them the first point and the second point, and the function draws a line between those things for us. In background, we're giving it a color, and it's coloring the screen that color. And in size, we're giving it a width and a height, and it's doing it using those dimensions. So those are three of the most basic functions that you could use, and we'll gradually introduce more functions as we go on. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So thanks, and go watch the next episode when it comes out. Thanks guys, see you in the next episode.